Oil, the lifeline of many countries in the Middle East. In the deep seas, in the scorching deserts, oil exploration companies strive hard to keep that lifeline flowing at all times. One of the largest oil and gas explorers in the Middle East made the decision to replace 17 tower cranes with new ones that incorporated the latest technological features, making them safer and more reliable. The tower cranes were obsolete and corroded. Repair was not possible as spare parts were unavailable. A consortium of 2 hydrocarbon service majors was chosen for the task. L&T Hydrocarbon Engineering, an integrated EPIC company with a track record of onshore and offshore construction services. And Subsea 7, one of the top 5 players in the global SURF market and a major subsea EPCI player. A project of such unparalleled scale and complexity demanded a unique set of competencies. Our understanding of clients' requirements, standards and work culture, our ability to match them without adversely impacting operations, and our credo, execution par excellence. Given the complexity of the project, planning took center stage. Every move was carefully choreographed. Teams were spread over multi-work locations. Every minute requirement on each platform was surveyed. Non-destructive testing ensured that the new cranes would fit seamlessly on the foundation of the old ones. Detailed engineering and analysis ensured structural integrity and the integration of the new electrical instrumentation and communication systems with the old. While the old cranes varied in terms of many parameters, the new ones had been standardized. This called for unexpected modifications, structural strengthening, and in extreme cases, even shutdown for deck strengthening. Engineering was further complicated due to the deck slope and footprint mismatch of the new cranes with the old ones. Linden Comansa and the LTHE engineering team put in enormous efforts to redesign the crane operating cabin to accommodate safety and communication devices within the limited space. The real challenges were offshore. Obstructions and hindrances were everywhere, both subsea and on the platform. Subsea pipelines and cables hampered barge positioning. Suitable jack-up barges with required crane reach and height were available with only a few vendors worldwide. Our transportation and installation team handled these crucial problems through intensive planning and interaction with our client's marine team. Material, manpower, services. We aligned all 3 to achieve success. The cranes were manufactured in Spain and free-issued by our client. We roped in several crane experts and technicians under the manufacturer's supervision to assist the operation. Close coordination enabled us to manage interfaces with other contractors as well as our client's vessels. Our client allocated LUP area for setting up of an onshore yard to store and pre-assemble cranes and fabricate structural steel. The cranes were pre-assembled to the extent possible at the yard. Smoothly and seamlessly, we overcame many challenges. Working smartly, we assembled, fireproofed, painted, packed and dispatched the cranes to their offshore locations on schedule, meeting 2 parallel offshore installation campaigns. When time is short, resources must be augmented. We worked round the clock in close coordination with procurement, logistics, offshore teams and local subcontractors. Smart logistics enabled us to transport all material and equipment, as well as essential supplies required to sustain a huge contingent of workers offshore. A large marine force was trained and mobilized to start 2 simultaneous offshore campaigns. Live oil platforms made the stakes even higher. The real challenge was to disassemble and replace the cranes on live platforms in a congested area. The demolition process began with fall protection of surrounding equipment, vessel, pipelines, etc. The old cranes were rusted and the bolts and pins clogged. Auxiliary instruments had to be removed before the cranes were brought down. Special tools were designed, procured and used. Each step of the process was carefully planned and meticulously executed. Safety was a key concern every step of the way. The base surface strengthened. Installation begins. Installation nears completion. Continuity of operations of the platforms were paramount. Circuit breakers on 6 cranes were replaced without shutting down operations. The F&G system was integrated into the DCS without hampering operations. After installation, the cranes were pre-commissioned and load tested to affirm the readiness of the cranes for handover to operations. The learning curve was steep but rewarding, and every movement the team shared and implemented the lessons learned. Highly synchronized, energetic and goal-driven, the team achieved impeccable overall productivity. The first crane took 35 days, but we slashed down the time to 10 days. And finally, all the cranes were commissioned and handed over to the client for operation. Overcoming the many challenges of the project, we completed it ahead of schedule with an enviable safety record. Regular client interaction and involvement helped streamline the project's processes. The integrated project management team concept enabled both Subsea 7 and L&T Hydrocarbon Engineering to complement their strengths for the success of the project. In appreciation of our performance, our client accorded the project the rare honor of Great Achievement, Successful Story. Flushed with success, our teams move on to the next challenge. With our credo of execution par excellence, we pledge to keep oil flowing, economies growing.